Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls. Welcome to Emergency Management Associates. We're coming to you from the Area Command, 392 miles west of Kitty Hawk Beach, North Carolina. We want to welcome everybody to our program tonight. Folks, I just want to give you an update of where we're at, okay? Where we're at. A lot of things have happened since last night. Yesterday, we talked about the plane crash in San Diego, California. The plane is Cessna 550, which was an airliner that could have carried 8 to 10 passengers, but was only carrying 3 people. The pilot, the co-pilot, and one other well-known person from the audio industry. Someone that does recordings of famous people. All 3 died in the aircraft. We're still waiting to confirm the identifications of the individuals, but 3 people died yesterday in that plane crash. Today, there was just a press conference interview of the NTSB person that you saw yesterday, Mr. Elliott. He just completed an interview out on the streets of Tierra Santa neighborhood in San Diego, and he basically gave the information that he gave yesterday. So I'm not going to repeat it. But he also still said there was no flight data recorder. There may have been a cockpit voice recorder, but they don't know where it's at. They haven't found it in the wreckage. They have not found that piece of equipment in the wreckage. There may have also been some other data recorders from the engines that could have given the NTSB a lot of information. Right now, Mr. Elliott is still the only person on the ground with the NTSB. Tonight, they're supposed to be getting 5 to 6 more NTSB investigators on the scene of that flight accident yesterday morning. Sometime tomorrow, after those investigators are looking at the crash site, they're going to pick up that aircraft, as many parts as they possibly can, and take it to a secure hangar and try to fit the pieces back in the original shape where they came from. They can't fit the pieces exactly. They can't glue them back together, but they're going to lay them out on a concrete surface to reassemble the aircraft as close to the original aircraft as it was. That's when they'll begin the true investigation of exactly what happened. The investigators are also waiting for information from the National Weather Service as to exact conditions that were there at the time of the aircraft accident. They're also waiting to get information from the San Diego Gas and Electric people that were on the ground when the airplane hit power lines, high tension power lines overhead, just 2 miles from the crash site. That's where the aircraft hit to some high tension power lines and started its descent into the Tierra Santa neighborhood. After it hit those power lines, it also took out a light pole. A light pole was approximately 100 feet off the ground. Then it nosedived into that neighborhood, into a house and down the street throughout that neighborhood that you saw last night. Incredible. But again, the NTSB investigators said that there's no flight data recorder on that aircraft. There may be a cockpit voice recorder that they have not found. There are records on the engines that say that there had been a data recorder hooked up, or what shall I say, not original equipment to the engines, but there was a data recorder supposedly attached to those engines to allow the flight data recorder to work and record information from engine performance. That's what we're at. That's what they're looking for. They have not had it yet. Okay? There's many things that are still missing from the NTSB side of the investigation. They're not going to complete the investigation for probably 2 weeks, And at that point in time, there will be a initial aircraft crash report that will be issued again in 2 weeks, and then it might be up to a year before they issue the final report as to why this flight crashed over in San Diego yesterday. Again, it was a Cessna light aircraft. Cessna light aircraft. It was a jet plane that crashed in the San Diego neighborhood yesterday. It was a Cessna with tail number of N666 ND6. Okay, that was what happened yesterday. Incredible, incredible. I used to go to that neighborhood frequently. I had friends that lived in that neighborhood. Okay, now I have not been there for a very long time. Okay, I have not been anywhere in that near that neighborhood since April 2000 last year. But I know that neighborhood quite religiously. I could probably find my way there in the dark. But that's the status on the investigation of that aircraft accident yesterday in San Diego. Does anybody have any questions about what happened there? Okay. Ready now is saying prayers for the families. I agree. Prayers for the families of the people on the ground that were injured and that also received damage to their homes and vehicles. Okay. These were military personnel that were actually living paycheck to paycheck. They didn't have much money. Yes, the owner of the aircraft has insurance. That insurance will only cover so far, though. That insurance will only go so far. Will those people that had damage to their property get compensated? Partially compensated, possibly. Possibly. Okay? The families who lost family members in that aircraft, the pilot, the co-pilot, and the other person, yes, we need to pray for their families as well. They lost people that they loved and cared about, and as well as their friends as well. Again, do we have any questions about what happened there? Okay. I'm willing to take any questions. Like I said, I've done an investigation on my own of what has happened, but I've only got so much information, and I just got through reviewing the interview live from San Diego this afternoon with Mr. Elliott from the National Transportation Safety Department. Okay? Any questions? Okay. If not, I want to go over to the USGS map. I want to review the earthquakes that they're saying hit today. There are a lot more earthquakes than they're saying they hit today, but again, they're not going to even own up to exactly what happened. Now, with this map here, the USGS map, it has a lot to be desired of. It has a lot to be desired of. I understand that. But this is what we have to work with. Okay? Yes, I could put up the European map, but we would be here literally all night and all day studying what had happened today on the ground with all these earthquakes. As you can see, there are plenty of earthquakes here. We're going to talk about the majority of the larger quakes. Okay? I want to go down here in the Indian Ocean. Okay? If you allow me, I want to go down here in the Indian Ocean to show you earthquakes ahead. Down here south of Macquarie Island, southeast of Australia. This is the largest earthquake today. This is a 6.1 very strong earthquake. Again, I want to review with you the levels of magnitudes of the quakes. A 0.1 to 0.9 are microquakes. 0.1 to 0.9 are microquakes. 1.0 to 1.9 are considered to be tremors. 2.0 to 2.9 are minor earthquakes. 3.0 to 3.9 are considered to be small quakes. 4.0 to 4.9 USGS is reclassified as light earthquakes, but they're not. I'm going to tell you right now, they're not light earthquakes. There's nothing light about a 4.0 to 4.9 earthquake that cause a lot of damage. There's no such thing as a light earthquake. I don't care what agency says, there's no such thing as a light earthquake. These are moderate earthquakes, 4.0, 4.9. Yes, they cause damage. In some cases, they cause a lot of damage. A 5.0, 5.9 is considered by the agency to be a moderate earthquake. But I'm going to tell you again, those earthquakes are larger earthquakes. There's nothing moderate about a 5.0 to 5.9 earthquakes. Those are large earthquakes. End of discussion. USGS should not have modified what they call these earthquakes. They should never have happened. Now, USGS did not touch 6.0 and above earthquakes. They didn't touch 3.0, 3.9. Only those earthquakes that do damage did they reclassify. Again, that's because USBS, yes, USBS is just that, bullcrap. Bullcrap. Okay? They reclassified them because they don't want people to realize how strong these earthquakes are and the damage that they cause. So we've studied everything from microquakes to tremors to small minor earthquakes, small earthquakes, moderate earthquakes, and large earthquakes. Next let's go to 6.0 to 6.9. Very strong earthquakes. 6.0, 6.9 are considered to be very strong earthquakes. 7.0 to 10 are considered to be major dangerous earthquakes. Major dangerous earthquakes. Want to get that firm in your minds right now. This earthquake that struck southeast of Australia here, south of Macquarie Island. This was a very strong 6.1 earthquake. Since then, and first off, I want to tell you this. This earthquake hit at 12:31 p.m. Eastern Time today. I want to go over here to Australia now. Australia's had another earthquake here. This is a large earthquake, a 5.3 large earthquake here. Okay, 87 kilometers north of Nyngan, Australia. Nyngan, Australia. Okay, now right here, this is out in the outback of Australia. This earthquake is out in the outback of Australia. This also is one of the largest earthquakes to hit Australia in the last several years. A 5.3 large earthquake here. This earthquake hit at 12:36 p.m. today, Eastern Time. 12:36 p.m. Eastern Time. Since this earthquake hit, there have been numerous aftershocks, mostly small and moderate earthquake aftershocks. But again, USGS is not showing those. They should. They did earlier, but they took the aftershocks down, which is sad. Sad. Now, I expect there to be some damage here. Even though this is out in the outback of Australia, I still expect to see some damage here. Why? Because these are old rock. The location of this earthquake is old rock. Okay? It's on the Indo-Australian plate, old rock. Okay? This is also fairly shallow earthquake. This is only 5.3 kilometers deep, just over 2 miles deep here. Very shallow earthquake. That is why I say this was a large earthquake that's going to cause damage. The shallower the earthquake, the more damage you're going to have. If this was a deep earthquake, you may not have as much damage, but this was a shallow earthquake. There is going to be damage with this earthquake, guaranteed. Now, I have not heard of any damage yet, but I'm going to tell you straight up, there's going to be damage with this earthquake. Okay? That's what's going on. Now, let's go over here eastbound. Okay? Want to go over here to Vanuatu. This is a 4.7 earthquake here. 4.7 earthquake. This is 109 kilometers east of Luganville, Vanuatu. 109 kilometers east of Luganville, Vanuatu. Now look where it's at. USGS is lying about its location. They're absolutely lying about the location of this quake. This is on land. This is not out in the ocean. Now I cannot zoom this any closer than it is. This is on land here in Vanuatu. Now this may be a wooded area. This may be a wooded area. Again, this is on land, okay? There are people, this is a large enough island to have inhabitants here. It's a large enough island to have inhabitants. I'm telling you right now, this may have caused some damage. This is an upper 4. Anything over 4.6 to 4.9 is considered to be a real major earthquake. Or not major, I'm sorry, a real moderate earthquake. A real moderate earthquake here. There is going to be some damage here. Okay? Look where it's at. Look where it's at. It's down here on the land just east of the hills. Just east of those hills. Just east of the mountains here. There's going to be some damage here. Guaranteed. Vanuatu, guys. Vanuatu. Okay, let's back this out. Let's go further out east here. This is over in Wallis, Futuna. This is a section of islands here in the Pacific Ocean. 152 kilometers south-southwest of Leava, L-E-A-V-A, Wallis, Futuna. These islands were first discovered during World War II. This is out in the middle of the Pacific. This is nowhere near a landmass. This is a 4.6 moderate earthquake. There's not going to be any damage here at all because the ocean waters of the Pacific Ocean have absorbed the shock waves of this quake. As it was a moderate earthquake. This would have done moderate damage had it been on a landmass. But because this was out in the ocean, there's nothing here to hurt. Okay? The ocean waters absorbed the shock waves of this quake. South of Wallis Futuna here. This is in the Fiji region. The Fiji region here. You can see the islands of Fiji here. This also was out in the ocean. This was a 4.5 earthquake. A 4.5 earthquake that was 545 kilometers deep. This is a deep earthquake. This deep earthquake is going to propagate a larger, shallower quake. This 4.5 earthquake here, being a moderate earthquake, is going to propagate a much larger quake. Probably a 5.4 to 5.5 earthquake. A 5.4 to 5.5 earthquake here. This earthquake propagating will be at least that high, that large, but it will happen here in this area or eastbound, even out here over to South America, Chile or Argentina. Yes, it could happen. It could happen. Okay? South of this earthquake here, we have another 4.4 earthquake. This 4.4 earthquake, guys, realize this. This 4.4 earthquake here is even deeper. This is even deeper than the other one. This 4.4 is 601 kilometers deep. A very deep earthquake. This earthquake is going to propagate a 5.5 to a 5.6 earthquake. With the next, both of these earthquakes are going to propagate these earthquakes in the neighborhood of 3 to 10 days. In the next 3 to 10 days, which means we're going to see probably 5.3 to 5.6 earthquakes hitting this area or even out eastward to Chile and Argentina or out here into Vanuatu, the Solomon Islands, or all the way over here into Papua New Guinea. Okay, that's going to happen. That is going to happen. One more earthquake over here in Tonga. This is a 4.7 earthquake here. This 4.7 earthquake here is only 153 kilometers deep. A fairly shallow earthquake. A fairly shallow earthquake. So this earthquake is not going to propagate anything. But also, this is only 35 kilometers west-northwest of Hihifotonga. Hihifotonga. Okay, look where it's at. Being this is only a 4.7 moderate earthquake, the ocean waters absorb the shockwaves of this quake as well. I don't believe anybody on Hihifo Island felt this quake. Nobody on Hihifo Island felt this quake. There's no way. No way. The ocean waters absorb the shockwaves of this quake. Let's go further down south here into the Kermadec Islands. Here in the Kermadec Islands to the south here, we don't have any earthquakes today. None. That's fortunate. The Kermadec Islands belong to New Zealand. USGS never shows us earthquakes here in New Zealand at all, which is a fallacy. There are 24 earthquakes here in New Zealand. Most of these earthquakes around the North Island of New Zealand. Fact. Yes, there are a handful of earthquakes on the South Island. All of these earthquakes are either minor 2.0 to 2.8, yes, 2.0, 2.8, or 3.0, 3.5 earthquakes here. That's all they are. Minor and small earthquakes. Okay, so far. Okay, so I've covered this area of the Pacific. Let's go over here to Papua New Guinea. This is a 4.7 earthquake here. A 4.7 earthquake here out in the Pacific again. Right here. Okay, this is on the edge of this island here. USGS incorrectly puts it 80 kilometers south-southeast of Paguna, Papua New Guinea. Yes, it is. Paguna, Papua New Guinea is over here. Here, this is a very small island. A very small island here. Now, there are some people that live here. There are small housing developments here, but they're only small villages. Only small villages. This is a 4.7 earthquake. This also is only 90 kilometers deep. A shallow earthquake. A shallow earthquake. If there's anybody here that felt that earthquake, they didn't feel a lot of shaking. Only moderate shaking. A 4.7 earthquake is stronger than a 4.6 or 4.5. It can do moderate damage. These people that live on this island, guys, if they felt anything with some shaking, these people don't have homes like we do. I can truthfully say these people do not have homes like we do. They live in cardboard shacks, shanties, they live in wooden shacks, and that's about it. Okay? They don't have homes like we do. When earthquakes like this do hit, though, it knocks their stuff down. They have to rebuild it. They have to rebuild it. Okay? Anyway, that's what is here. We go further west here. Okay? This is over in Tobelo, Indonesia, central Indonesia. Notice that the USGS incorrectly shows nothing. Only one earthquake here in northern Indonesia. This happens to be a large earthquake. Very shallow earthquake, 51 kilometers deep. 51 kilometers deep. Folks, this is supposedly 153 kilometers west-northwest of Tobelo. This is out in the ocean here. Nobody felt this earthquake. The ocean waters here absorbed the shockwaves of this quake as well. Nothing happened here. They're not showing earthquakes here. There are 23 earthquakes here in Indonesia today. Over here in Sumatra, the Java area, over here into east of Java here, nothing. They're not showing anything. But there are enough earthquakes here that are small and moderate quakes. small and moderate quakes here. USGS is not showing anything, which is a lie. Anytime you omit anything, you're lying to the public. You're lying to the public. That's exactly what this agency is doing, lying to the public. There are earthquakes over here on Mindanao, Philippines here. The largest island in the southern Philippines. Not showing anything here. Most earthquakes here are small and moderate quakes. Small and moderate quakes, 3.0, 4.9. Okay? Over here in central Indonesia, same, or central Philippines here, the same. Over here, Luzon, Philippines here. Guess what? Small earthquakes here as well. They're not talking about anything here, which is rather unfortunate. Rather unfortunate. Over here, this Nepal, northern Himalaya mountains here. This is a 4.4 earthquake here. Moderate earthquake here. 132 kilometers north of Lobucha, Nepal. Lobuche, Nepal. There are earthquakes here. There are earthquakes over here in Myanmar as well that they're not talking about. Seismic energy is still locked up in this area, and we're seeing aftershocks. We're seeing aftershocks of an 8.4 earthquake that hit here over a month ago. Aftershocks are going to continue to hit this area for months and even years. Months or even years. The people here in Myanmar are fighting a battle, a civil war. They were fighting a civil war before this earthquake hit. They had a ceasefire for 2 weeks. The army of the country is fighting against the civilians in this country as well. Very sad. Very sad. They're killing off their own citizenry. Killing off their own citizenry. Now, because of the war here, they're not allowing anybody, any civilian news people here into Myanmar. So we don't know exactly what's happening there. We know for a fact that they've been trying to recover. There have been humanitarian efforts here by various humanitarian agencies from throughout the world. But again, right now, especially, the military is only allowing so much in. They're only allowing so much in, which is very sad. Anyway, let's get back over here to the map here. Over here in the north central Indian Ocean here. This is another 4.5 earthquake here. This is considered to be on the Carlsberg Ridge. On the Carlsberg Ridge. This is on the earthquake fault. The earthquake fault here. 4.5 earthquake, 10 kilometers deep. Shell earthquake. This is nowhere near land. Nobody felt this earthquake. The Indian Ocean absorbed the shockwaves of this quake. They're not showing any earthquakes here in the Middle East at all. Yes, there are earthquakes here. USGS is absent. Absent without leave. Over here in eastern Turkey, Syria border region here, there are earthquakes here as well. Aftershocks of a major earthquake that hit here April 3rd, 2023. Major earthquake here, there's still aftershocks 2 years later. Earthquakes here all over Turkey, northern, central, and southern Turkey here, and also western Turkey. Earthquakes over here as well in the Aegean Sea. Just a few days ago, we had a major earthquake, or not a major, but a very strong, supposedly 6.1 earthquake here. But it was more than just a 6.1. There were 2 6.1 earthquakes. And I believe they were larger than 6.1. The data doesn't support it. The data, I believe, was changed by the agency. I believe the data was changed by the agency because they can't even support a 6.1 earthquake from the data. They're lying about what happened here. They're totally lying about what happened. There are still earthquakes hitting here in the Aegean Sea here, right in this area here. You see Santorini here. This island was evacuated over a month ago because of earthquakes hitting here. Most of this island is still populated, though. Not everybody left. Argos here. This is another island that was partially evacuated. Now, since these islands were evacuated, Greece has finally decided that the earthquakes that happened here over a month ago, they were not supported by earthquake faults. Why are these earthquakes happening here in the agency? Magma beneath the surface in the crust of the earth. Magma is searching for a place to erupt. Magma is searching for a place to erupt. The agency did not tell Greece authorities about the magma. Greece authorities started having to put out their own devices out here, and then they found out there's magma. It's not earthquake faults that are causing these earthquakes. Magma down beneath the surface. It's interesting to know that these earthquakes are continuing to hit. These earthquakes are continuing to hit. There's no rhyme or reason what USBS is telling people. They continue to lie and cheat and steal, in my opinion. And I'll stand by that opinion until the cows come home. Because the agency lies to the people, completely lies to the public. Now, I know I've said this many times before, and people getting tired of hearing it, but it is the truth. I stand by that. I totally stand by that. Now, I want to show you what is happening here, right here. 20 plus earthquakes here in the Aegean Sea. 20 plus earthquakes here in the Aegean Sea. Again, the agency is lying through their teeth. The Europeans are reporting 20 plus earthquakes here. 20 plus earthquakes here occurring in this region. And yet, the agency's lying through their teeth. Now, I want to show you this. Look at this island here. This is the island of Crete. We just got through having 6.1 earthquakes here and other aftershocks. Let me enlarge this particular circle here. I want to show you what's going on. Look at all these earthquakes centered in this area. What is going on? Again, we have magma down beneath the surface. The magma is hammering away at bedrock here. The magma is hammering away at the bedrock, trying to find a way to erupt. Look closely at where it's at. These are cones and craters throughout this area. Cones and craters here. There's magma down beneath this area here. I'm going to point something out here. This is a 2.7 earthquake, 35 kilometers deep. 35 kilometers deep. 2.7 minor earthquake. There's magma down there. One other place. This is a 1.8 tremor here. This is 39.8 kilometers deep. 39.8 kilometers deep. Again, there's magma down there, hammering away at the bedrock. This is a 2.0, the same thing here. 2.0 minor earthquake here. Okay, magma here. Let's go north over here to Santorini. There are 5 earthquakes here. 5 earthquakes here in Santorini. 1 earthquake on the northern flank of the volcano. That small island out here in this bay here where Santorini is. That island here is the summit of the volcano. Rebecca the Explorer just gave us a $1 super chat. Rebecca, thanks so much. God bless you. God bless you for that. I just gave you an EMA sticker, and I just gave you a thumbs up for that as well. Don't let me forget to talk about Rebecca in just a minute, okay? Out here on the flank of that volcano, 1.7 tremor. Over here on land, northeast, or actually this is over on the western side of the island. Okay, there's a 1.3, another 1.3, 1.1, and a 0.8. This is a microquake, and the others are just tremors here. Okay, that island's still rocking. Even though there are microquakes and tremors, that island's still rocking because there's magma down beneath it. This 0.08 is 3.7 kilometers deep. That's because there's a volcano there. 3.7 kilometers deep, just over a mile deep. There's a volcano there. All of the volcanoes around the world are recharging. All of the volcanoes around the world are recharging at this point in time. Okay, north of there, north of Santorini here. Look at the earthquakes here. Notice the cones and craters here. Cones and craters from past eruptions. These cones and craters here are vents where volcanic activity occurred. Lava came out of these cones and craters here. Okay, all of these islands in the Aegean Sea here were volcanoes. They're formed by volcanoes. Okay, in the southern part here where these earthquakes are hitting, 1.4, 1.4, 2.0 minor earthquake there. Tremors and minor earthquakes here. Let's tap on this earthquake here. This is 4 miles deep. 4 miles deep here. Again, volcanism here. Magma down beneath the surface. Let's go further north here. This is a 1.5 tremor. Let's go further north here. 1.8 and a 3.0. 3.0 small quake. Look at this. It's down, actually, I'm sorry, not down. It's above, north of this island here. North of this island here. Now, let's tap on this quake here, this 3.0. I want to show you the depth. This has a depth of 6 miles. 6 miles deep. Okay? That's the deepest earthquake there is here. Deepest, I shouldn't say necessarily earthquake. It is an earthquake. Magma caused. Volcanism related. Sergeant Johnson is here. Thank you for being here, Sergeant. Appreciate it. Now, folks, Rebecca gave us that super chat. I want to encourage everyone to help Rebecca at this point in time. Rebecca is struggling financially. Her son moved out from his residence with her, causing a financial strain on her budget. She needs help. She needs help. Go over to her channel and show her some love. She has a way there, and Rebecca, you can go ahead and put your information up here in the chat room. Go ahead and put your information up here in the chat room. If anybody has the ability, please help support Rebecca. Please help support Rebecca. She needs our help. Okay? I'd appreciate it if you would do it, and so I know for a fact that she would. God bless you, Rebecca. Rebecca's been a very dear friend of ours. We appreciate her being here. Okay, we really appreciate her being here. She has her own channel here. Go show her channel some love. And Rebecca, go ahead and put your information here in the chat. I'm here to help you. We're here to help each other here. Okay? Rebecca's information here is in PayPal. It's PayPal Rebecca TOO8 at Gmail. It's PayPal Rebecca TOO8 at gmail.com. It's a PayPal site. So please help her. She needs it. Yes, Rebecca has actually written 2 books. You can also go over and buy one of her books. That would also help her a great deal as well. Okay? Rebecca says TCO. I'm sorry. Okay. It's PayPal, Rebecca TCO8. Rebecca PayPal, Rebecca TCO8. Okay. PayPal, Rebecca TCO8. Okay. She needs her help. She needs her help. Rebecca says Taco Cat Oscar. I'm going to say Tom, Charlie, Oscar. Tom, Charlie, Oscar. PayPal, Rebecca, Tom, Charlie, Oscar at gmail.com. Okay? Glad to help you, Rebecca. You've been a great help to this channel. You've been supporting me for all these years. Here, I am trying to help you also. Now, again, USGS is not showing any earthquakes at all here in Europe. None. None. I have real problems with that. I have huge problems with that. North up here in Poland, we have some earthquakes, minor earthquakes and moderate earthquakes here in Poland. USGS is not talking about any of that. Why not? Further south down here in Croatia area, there are earthquakes here, not showing them. Why not, USGS? Why not? Serbia here, there's earthquakes here. Why are you not showing them? Bulgaria here, earthquakes here. Why are you not showing them? Romania, not showing them here either. There have been earthquakes here in Macedonia. Why are they not showing those? Why are you not showing the 18 earthquakes over here in Greece? 18 earthquakes here in Greece. The handful of earthquakes here in southern Italy. Why not? And over here at the volcano here. Over here at the volcano. The volcano here is about ready to erupt. This volcano over here in Italy is about ready to erupt. It's steaming, guys. This volcano was steaming for the first time in probably 200 years. This volcano is preparing to erupt. Earthquakes all over the place. Earthquakes ranging from minor 1.0 tremors, 2.0 earthquakes, 3.0, 3.5, and even 4.5 earthquakes during the last week. 4.5 moderate earthquakes here in the last week. This also is a very heavily populated area. Down here to the south, look at this. Thousands of people live here. Out here to the west of the volcano, thousands of people live here. North of the volcano here, hundreds of thousands of people live in this area. Very populated area. And yet, this volcano is going to erupt. And USGS is not saying a damn word about it. I have issues with that. I have great issues with that. If someone gets hurt, the agency, the USGS, the preeminent seismic agency for the world, is not reporting on this. Why not? Yes, they have reported on a few things over the last 2 months. Why do they not continue to report on what's happening? People are going to die. People are going to get hurt. And this agency doesn't give a crap. This agency doesn't give a crap. Further up here to the north central Italy, 23 earthquakes here. USGS not showing one of them. Northern Italy here, on the southern end of the Alps Mountains, minor earthquakes and tremors. Minor earthquakes and tremors, especially out here, and further down south into the Riviera of Italy, right here. Minor earthquakes and tremors here. Going up here in the Alps, we have some minor tremors, 1.0 to 1.7 tremors here, and 2.0, 2.8 minor quakes here. Going up here into Switzerland, Germany, and even France. Tremors and minor earthquakes here. USGS not saying a word. Down here at the border region of Spain and France, 2 minor earthquakes here. Minor earthquakes in southern and northern Spain. Why are they not showing those? Inquiring minds want to know. Down here in the Azore Islands here, 2.57, 3.2, and 3.7 earthquakes hitting here. Why are they not showing those? We want to know. We want to know. I want to go down here into the Canary Islands here. There's a reason. I'll show you that in just a second here. They're not showing any of this. They're not showing any of this. I have real issues with that. No, I have big issues with that. Down here in the southwestern Canary Islands here, okay, 2.2 earthquake out in the ocean, but on the island itself, El Pinar, Canary Island, 2.2 earthquake there. 2.2 earthquake there. We go over here. La Orotava, Canary Island, 1.5 tremor. Look where it's at. Look where this earthquake is at. It's on the volcano. It's at the volcano, right there. USGS, not a word. Not a freaking word. Okay? Tenerife here. Look at that. The southern part of that island, off the coast. This is a 1.8 tremor here. I don't know why I can't remember the word Tenerife. I just can't. Further to the northeast here, in the ocean, this is the Atlantic Ocean here. This is a 2.1 earthquake. Now I want to go show you this. All of these earthquakes are between 10 and 12 miles deep. All of these earthquakes are between 10 and 12 miles deep. Shallow earthquakes. Shallow earthquakes, guys. The other earthquake is here. Okay? Right here. This is on the southeastern flank of this volcano right there. This is a 1.92.0 earthquake. 1.92.0 earthquake here on the southeastern flank of this volcano. Okay, let me show you this. 10.6 miles deep. 10.6 miles deep. Like I said, all of these earthquakes and tremors are 10 to 12 miles deep. Every one of them. Every one of them. Yet USGS is not showing any of these quakes or saying anything about the Canary Islands. I have issues with that. Why? Because just like happened over at La Palma Island. Let me show you La Palma Island here. This is La Palma Island. This is the La Palma Island. This is the easternmost island here in the Canary Islands here, in this region. Okay? Let me zoom back in here. La Palma Island right there. This volcano here is called Cumbre Vieja volcano. Before this volcano last erupted, down here on the southern spine of the island. Before this volcano erupted, USGS was not telling almost anything about these earthquakes. They weren't saying anything. Then all of a sudden, this volcano erupted. And still, USGS was not talking about it. Any of the information we could get either came from the island or it came from the European agency. When I reported on this earthquake when it happened, about four years ago, when I reported on it, I had direct reports from seismologists, volcanologists, and even scientists, and even the governor of the Canary Islands that came on our air. and talk to everybody talking about it. Okay? And yet our own agency hardly said anything about it. People were killed here on La Palma Island. People were injured. People lost their homes. People lost their homes. Now you can see some of the events here. You can see some of the events when the eruption happened. Flowing lava out here into the Atlantic Ocean. Yes, lava flowed out here into the Atlantic Ocean. People lost their homes. They lost everything. USGS said almost nothing about it. I think there was myself and maybe 4 other YouTube creators that we've been talking about it. And one citizen over there on La Palma was showing video every day of what was going on with the eruption. And we thank him for his service. He was a great creator. Now, I have not been following him for the last maybe year. He was a great guy. A great guy. Now, I want to go over here into South America for just a minute. This is a 4.8 earthquake here in the central part of Argentina and Chile. Look where this earthquake is. It's actually in Argentina. It's east of the border region of Chile and Argentina. This is a 4.8 earthquake here, 49 kilometers east of Consente, Argentina. East of the Andes Mountains here. There are other earthquakes here in the central part of Chile. USGS is not saying a word what about it. Earthquakes here in northern Chile. Notice today, USGS is not showing anything here. 14 earthquakes in this region right here. 14 earthquakes here. 12 earthquakes over here in central Chile. Central Chile. Not a one being shown here. Why not? There are some minor earthquakes over here in southern Peru. Tacna, Peru, near Sabancaya volcano, and Sabancaya volcano in southern Peru is erupting. We go up here, okay? This is southern Colombia. This is a 4.8 earthquake, 52 kilometers deep. There are 2 or 3 other earthquakes here in Colombia to the north. Santander, Colombia, right up in this area here. Santander, Colombia, right up here. Right there. Okay, that's usually where they're at. USGS is not showing any earthquakes here, which is a sad caught pig and shame. Because over here in northern Costa Rica here we have a volcano. That volcano started erupting yesterday. This volcano started erupting yesterday. Mostly ash and some minor outflow lava from that volcano. USGS not saying a word about it. No earthquakes, no volcanic information at all. Sad. Earthquakes happening all over Central America. USGS not saying a word. 28 earthquakes here in southern Mexico, between Puerto Vallarta here to the north and down here in southern Mexico here. Oaxaca, Mexico. Not a word. Not a word. USGS wants us to think that there's nothing going on here. Let's go over here to the United States here. This is offshore from the Gulf shores of Alabama. Gulf Shore, Alabama is right here. I was offered a job by the Gulf Shore, Alabama Police Department at one time. I turned it down. The chief of police whined it and he didn't whine me, but he dined me here in Gulf Shores. The police chief was a great man. I don't know whether he's still the police chief, but he was a great man. He really wanted me. Really wanted me. I turned the job down. Today, offshore from Gulf Shores here is a 3.1 minor earthquake here or small earthquake over here in the Gulf of America. In the Gulf of America, a 3.1 small earthquake there. Okay? There are more earthquakes here on the new Madrid Fault. We talked about the new Madrid Fault the other night. Right here. This is northwest of Pawnee, Oklahoma. I've done my research about this. My dear friend Rob52, that's usually here in the chat, he's a dear friend of mine. He's also a moderator on this channel. He and I talked about this before he came on the air. This earthquake is not the only one here. This is a 3.2 small earthquake here, and off here to the east. This is a 2.2. Both of these earthquakes are oil and gas related. It looks and appears that this is out in a wooded area. With this map here, we cannot get closer, but I guarantee you there are oil and gas rigs just south and north of this earthquake. If any earthquakes happen within 6 to 10 miles of an oil and gas rig setup, it's an oil and gas earthquakes. And both of these earthquakes are oil and gas earthquakes here in Oklahoma today. Okay, a 3.2 and a 2.2 here near Pawnee, Oklahoma. Pawnee, Oklahoma. And there's other earthquakes as well. But again, you'll never see it here on the USGS map. You'll never see it. Down here in southwestern Texas, look at the earthquakes here. Each and every earthquake here is an oil and gas earthquake. Oil and gas earthquake all over the place. Heidi Petrick just gave us another $20 super chat. Heidi, thank you ever so much. God bless you for that. We appreciate that. Heidi, you're magnificent. You're magnificent. Heidi Petrick has been a dear friend of ours. She's been a member of our team here on YouTube. I can't say enough about her. She's awesome. Heidi, thank you much for that. God bless you. Curiosity's here in the chat saying, my USGS would show new earthquakes every 10 or 20 minutes. Now I get updated earthquakes more like every hour or more. I agree. They're not going to show it. They're not going to show it. Heidi Petrick also gifted another 5 EMA memberships, 1-month memberships to people here in our, that are viewing our live here. Julius Veazey was gifted a membership. Tyler Ball, Sheila S., Scott Kitchell, and Pearl all received 1-month memberships. Guys, if you received a membership, please thank Heidi Petrick for that membership. Thank you so much, Heidi. You're awesome. You're awesome. Appreciate you a lot. Appreciate you a lot. But each and every one of these earthquakes here in southwestern Texas are oil and gas related. You see one red earthquake here. That earthquake red means it just happened. This is a 0.9 near McKinney, Texas. McKinney Acres, Texas. Oil and gas quake. Oil and gas quake. One other earthquake here I'm going to point out is near Coahoma, Texas. Oil and gas quake. This is a 1.3 tremor. Further out here to the west, Toyah, Texas, a 1.6. There's a small swarm here. USGS says this is New Mexico. It's not. This is still in Texas. This cannot possibly be in New Mexico. You can see the borderline here on the map. You can see the borderline here on the map. This is nowhere near southeast, or nowhere near New Mexico. Not even close. This earthquake to the northeast is. It's still in southwestern Texas near the border of New Mexico. This is a 2.8 earthquake here. All of these earthquakes are, like I said, oil and gas quakes. They're near the plots here. You see these oil and gas plots here. These are all oil and gas earthquakes. These are all oil and gas quakes here. This is a 2.6 minor earthquake here too. 6.3 kilometers deep. oil and gas. Oil and gas earthquakes, every one of them. Unreal. Unreal. Now you see some other earthquakes here. Southwestern Idaho. This is over here in the northern mountains of the Wasatch Fault. They say this is actually in Wyoming, but it's not. This is southwestern Idaho. You can see the border here. It's in Idaho here. This is a 3.8 earthquake. 3.8 earthquake. Why did it happen? Number one, it's in the Rocky Mountains. This is in the Rocky Mountains. This is the natural earthquake fault, the Western Continental Divide. The Western Continental Divide. That's number one. Number two, this is in the southern Yellowstone magma chamber. This is 11 kilometers deep. This is in the Rocky Mountains, but it's also covered in the western or the southern part of the Yellowstone magma chamber. The Yellowstone magma chamber covers 11 Grand Canyons in size. 11 Grand Canyons in size. It goes all the way up here to southern Canada. It goes all the way down here into northern Utah. The Yellowstone magma chamber here. This is a 3.8 here in southeastern Idaho. Right here is Georgetown, Idaho, 8 kilometers northwest of Georgetown, Idaho here. This is a 1.3 tremor here. Down here in northern Utah, Huntsville, Utah. This is a 1.0 tremor here. Down here in Salt Lake City. It's actually not in Salt Lake. Guess where it's at? Park City. Park City. This is over near Parley's Canyon. Summit Park, Utah. Summit Park, Utah. Right here. This is just west of Park City. Park City is this area right here. This is all part of Summit Park here. This is all part of Summit Park here. You can see Parley's Canyon here as denoted by Interstate 80. Parley's Canyon here. Okay, that's here. That's where this earthquake is here. Northeast of Salt Lake City. Northeast of Salt Lake City. Okay, why did I want to point that out? Because guess what? We're talking one about the Yellowstone magma chamber. Two, we're talking about the Rocky Mountains, which is the Western Continental Divide, earthquake fault, major earthquake fault, and the northern part of the Wasatch Mountains. The Wasatch Mountains has 7 segments. The Wasatch Mountains here has 7 segments. Any one segment or the entire fault line could go. Any one segment or the entire fault line is capable of a 6.5 to a 7.5 major earthquake. 6.5 very strong to a 7.5 major earthquake. That's going to happen. I can guarantee you it's going to happen. Unreal. Sage Pup is here in the chat saying he's here, but he's cleaning while listening. Thank you, Sage Pup. Appreciate you, brother. Appreciate you. Anyway, let's go down here in Southern California. I'm not going to spend a great deal of time about this because I do want to talk about hurricanes. I'm going to touch up here near San Francisco Bay. This is Dunnigan, California, northeast San Francisco Bay. This is a 3.1 earthquake here. 3.1 earthquake. Over here, you can see a swarm of earthquakes here. This is the geysers region. This geysers area here is a geothermal region. Men from America drilled into the upper magma chambers of this volcano, Clear Lake volcano. to obtain steam to generate electricity down here in the geysers area. There's a turbine facility here, 81 turbines in this area, 81 turbines here. These turbines are spun by the steam from that volcano. These turbines are spun from the steam of this volcano right here. This is a turbine facility here. This turbine facility here has 10 turbines. 10 turbines out of 81 total turbines here in the geysers facility. These earthquakes are ranging in size from microquakes on up to 2.5 earthquakes today. Microquakes from, say, 1.7, 1.5, 1.7 tremors, and microquakes, which are less than that. But tremors and microquakes even up until 2.5, 2.7 earthquakes here in the geysers facility. Yes, we've had even 3.5 and also a 4.5 earthquake that's happened here within the last year. 4.5 earthquakes are generated here in the geysers area as well. This is normal. Every day they get 20 to 30 earthquakes here. 20 or 30 earthquakes here every day. That's because seismic energy coming off the Pacific Ocean here hits these man-made earthquake faults. Each drill point that's gone up here into the upper magma chambers of the volcano, the seismic energy comes in off the Pacific plate, hits these man-made earthquake faults, and fractures the rock inside the fault line. Fractures the rock inside the fault line, the drill point. That's why they have earthquakes here. Okay? Down here east of San Francisco Bay. This is Danville, California. Rob 52 has a daughter over here in Danville. This is on the Calaveras Fault. The Calaveras Fault here. This is a 1.3 tremor here. 1.3 tremor. Also here on the Calaveras Fault is a 0.8 Alum Rock, California. Alum Rock, California. Notice where this earthquake is. Again, it's on the Calaveras Fault. Just west of there is the Hayward Fault. The Hayward Fault. And west of the Hayward, we have the San Andreas Fault. Three major fault lines here. Three major fault lines that are capable of a 6.5 to a 7.5 earthquake or larger. The further south it gets, these faults get, they come together right here, east Monterey Bay, California. This area here is probably the most dangerous area where you could live, because this area here has a capability of a huge earthquake. All it takes is one of these faults going, and it could rattle the other faults into action. We could have a catastrophe here just south of the Bay Area here, right here east of Monterey Bay here. Okay, right here. Down here along the coastline, this is Lopez Point. Lopez Point is a different story, a completely different story. Look where it's at. This is on the coastal area of California. Also one of the most dangerous areas you could be. When a major earthquake hits on the San Andreas Fault to the east, or an earthquake hits off the coast. Yes, there are earthquake faults off the coast of California. This place could be catastrophic. Okay? This place here could be catastrophic. There could be landslides. This place here could shake like never before. I'm just telling you. I'm just telling you. Now, there are other earthquakes down here in this area. We go way down here to the south. Also on the San Andreas Fault. This is a 2.1 earthquake here. 2.1 earthquake. This is southeast of Parkfield. Southeast of Parkfield, California. This is Parkfield, California right here. Let me take down my webcam here. This is Parkfield, California. Here you can see Parkfield labeled here where this earthquake here is here. Parkfield, California is the earthquake capital of California and earthquake capital of the world. They have more earthquakes here than ever before. They average an earthquake of anywhere from 3 to 3 minutes. From 3 to 3 minutes every day. More earthquakes here in Parkfield than ever before. That's why it's an earthquake capital of California, an earthquake capital of the world. Fact. Down here in Southern California, Los Angeles and San Diego. More earthquakes here. We talked about the earthquakes here the other day. I'm going to go down into Mexico right now. USGS is only showing one earthquake here in northern Mexico. Sad. Very sad. Folks, this is east of Ensenada. East of Ensenada. This is a 2.4 earthquake, 74 kilometers east of Ensenada, Mexico, Baja California. Okay, let's go north here. I want to show you this. Right here, Lake Henshaw, California, just northeast of where I used to live in Escondido. I used to fish here at Lake Henshaw. This is 0.3 microquake. This is a 0.5 microquake. Interesting, huh? Guess what? This is way east of Escondido, way east of Lake Henshaw. Valley Center's here. Valley Center's right here. I have friends that live in Valley Center. This is actually Lake Henshaw here. It's nowhere, these earthquakes are nowhere near Lake Henshaw. They're nowhere near Lake Henshaw. Sorry, no cigar. Again, USBS has no clue. USBS has no clue where these earthquakes are. They just label them. They have an earthquake here and they just label. I'm completely convinced that USGS has no clue what they're talking about. They don't. We have earthquakes over here in the Anza-Borrego Desert State Park. These are minor tremors here. This is at minus 0.1 microquake supposedly, but this is not above sea level. This is 3.5 miles deep, 7.7 kilometers deep, 3.5 miles deep. Sorry, USGS, you lost this one as well. Anyway, I don't want to talk about earthquakes that much tonight. I want to go over here, however, to Hawaii. The other day we talked about Hawaii, okay? Today we're seeing an earthquake here. They say this is southwest of Pahala, Hawaii. Let's look at it. This is southeast of Pahala. Pahala is up here. Pahala is right there. This earthquake is southeast of Pahala. 2.0 earthquake. This is a 1.9, 2.0 here. South of Pahala, Hawaii. Okay, one other earthquake here. This is a 3.1 earthquake here. Out in the Pacific Ocean here. We've had earthquakes here before. 3.1 small earthquake here. Now, there are many reasons why this earthquake could have happened. Many. There could be magma down beneath the surface. I don't really have a good reason this earthquake could have happened, but this is not the only earthquake that has hit right here. It's not the only earthquake that's hit right here. Okay, 3.1 earthquake there. Let's take this USGS map down now. Let's bring up the webcam here, take this map down, and let's talk about hurricanes. We are slowly popping into hurricane season. We've had some storms off the coast of actually not even near the coast of Florida, nowhere near the coast of Florida. But we've had some storms down in the central part of the Atlantic Ocean. Some storms down here in the southern part of the Atlantic Ocean, or the central part of the Atlantic Ocean. We're going to see more and more. We're coming into hurricane season. Now, why do I want to talk about hurricanes? Because we are an emergency preparedness organization. We are an emergency preparedness organization. That's why we want to talk about these hurricanes. Tonight, for a few minutes, I want to talk about the do's and don'ts. The do's and don'ts of hurricanes. The do's and don'ts to consider how to prepare for a hurricane, and also riding out the storm. We talk frequently about this. We always talk about what to do before, during, and after any kind of event. Before, during, and after any kind of event. There's a reason. There is a very good reason. Because we want to be busy preparing for whatever happens. We need to be busy preparing for whatever happens. Okay? Please, guys, please pay attention. Also want to urge everybody that's watching this program. When we're talking about what is going on, whether it's earthquakes, hurricanes, any kind of disaster, including a tornado, we need you to share this information freely and honestly around the world, literally. Share this information with your friends, your neighbors. Share this information with your family and extended family. Share this information with the people you work with, and also the people you talk with on social media. Share it wildly. Everybody needs to know it. We want to save lives here. Also, down at the bottom of your screen, you see two scrolling lines here. One is showing our PayPal, 2 PayPal locations, and a Venmo location where you can help support this program. You can go there and give us donations. We'd appreciate it to keep this program on the air. Also, we have our email address, rltnspdema@gmail.com. Please, folks, if you have information about anything, share with us here. One of our viewers the other day sent us an email about the pneumatic fault. He said he wanted me to share it today, but I'm not going to do that. I'm going to wait till next Monday or Tuesday to show the information about the pneumatic fault. The pneumatic fault is getting ready to move, and move in a big way. Please do that. Share information far and wide about what we're doing here. Also, we have our email address and our local mailing address. Our local mailing address is 504 Bethel Road, Bethel Road, Box 401, Morganton, Morganton, North Carolina. You can send us letters and cards, and you can also put in one of those letters and cards a check or cash. People do it. People do it frequently. They send us donations through the mail. Please do that. We'd appreciate all of your donations as well. God bless you for that. But share this program far and wide. Everybody needs to know that everybody needs to know everything about what we're doing to help save lives here. Hurricane do's and don'ts. Preparing for and riding out the storm. Number one, do not go outside during the storm. Do not go outside during the storm. Now, years ago when I was a federal police officer in Denver, I was over at the Federal Protective Service Dispatch Center in Denver. The Dispatch Center in Denver was the dispatch center for all federal law enforcement within the area of Idaho, actually farther north than that, from Alaska, Oregon, Washington, California, Idaho, Utah, Colorado, New Mexico, Arizona, down over into the Hawaiian Islands and Guam. We also dispatch for Nevada and Texas, Louisiana, Arkansas. We dispatch for Mississippi, that whole area there, Oklahoma as well. We dispatch federal agents all over that area. This one night, I was in the dispatch center, and we were observing the television monitors in the dispatch center, what was going on with Hurricane Katrina that night. Hurricane Katrina was making landfall on Louisiana and Mississippi. We knew what was going on. Now, there's a dipstick who is a broadcaster for CNN, the Communist News Network, Anderson Cooper. He was on the beach area of Louisiana area. He was holding on to a stop sign for dear life, literally holding on to a stop sign for dear life in a long sleeve shirt. No jacket, no rain slicker, no nothing. Winds of 85 plus miles per hour. 85 plus miles per hour. Holding on to a stop sign. That stop sign was being buffeted by the wind and was leaning like this. The stop sign was leaning like this. No joke. No joke. He was holding on to the stop sign, trying to stay on his feet. How stupid do you get? How stupid can you get out in the middle of a storm like that? Rain pelting him. Rain pelting him, wind knocking him over. At one point in time, I saw him almost lose grip on the stop sign. If that would have happened, he would possibly have been killed. There's no stupider action. You have to be stupid. There's no stupider action than standing around in a hurricane holding on to the stop sign. Stupid. It's stupid, guys. It's utterly stupid. Don't go outside during the storm. This is the no-brainer. Even a Category 1 hurricane can reach sustained winds of 74 miles per hour. A Category 5 reaches winds over 156 miles per hour. Winds like this can turn even small debris into deadly missiles. It can turn small debris into literally missiles, deadly missiles that can kill you. And yet this idiot was outside holding onto a stop sign trying to prove something. Stupidity. Don't be fooled by the eye of the storm either. At some point in time during the hurricane, all of a sudden there will be a calm period of time. Hardly any winds or breezes at all. You may also see some sunshine. When that happens, guess what? You're in the eye of the storm. There will be a period of time that's calm before the hurricane force winds return, and they'll return from the opposite direction. Those winds will return from the opposite direction. Look out. look out. Stay inside during the hurricane. If the eye of the hurricane is passing over, stay inside your homes. Stay inside of your buildings. Don't get near any exterior walls. Stay away from exterior walls just as you would during a tornado. Stay away from any glass windows. Stay away from exterior walls. If your power goes out, do not grill steaks on the barbecue indoors. Do not grill steaks on the barbecue indoors. Yes, I've seen that done. That's about one of the stupidest things you could do. The carbon dioxide, even from the gas grills, the carbon dioxide and the other gases emitted by burning charcoal or gas are deadly levels of carbon monoxide. CO2 and carbon monoxide. They'll kill you. They'll kill you. Don't go outside trying to grill outside. Don't do it inside either. Use your stove. Use your stove. Don't drink non-bottled or untreated water. Do not drink unbottled or untreated water. Flood waters are often filled with bacteria and other contaminants, including sewage. Don't drink tap water at all. Do not drink tap water at all, including other kinds of bottled water. Don't do it. The Food and Drug Administration has tips on how to make your tap water safe to drink. The only bottled water that I would drink is bottled water like from Walmart or Costco or other stores like that that have bottled water. Don't drink anything else. Now, Sage Pup is talking about Anderson Cooper here. Sage Pup said he watched Anderson Cooper fake being in Kuwait and Iraq when Saddam Hussein was there, when Saddam Hussein invaded. He was on the roof of a CNN building in Atlanta, not in Iraq or Kuwait. CNN lies. CNN lies through their teeth. Rebecca, thank you for being here. She's going to get her grandbaby in bed. God bless you, Becky. We appreciate you. Thank you for being here. Love you. We all love you. Don't drink alcohol. Do not drink alcohol during one of your hurricane parties. Yes, I know all about hurricane parties. Yes, people do get blasted. People do get blasted, and I'm saying blasted. Do not drink and get drunk. Don't drink at all. I'm repeating, do not drink alcohol during a hurricane. You never know when you will need to evacuate at a moment's notice or deal with a life-threatening emergency. You're going to want to have all your wits about you while a raging hurricane is coming in. Lives could depend on you, including your own life. That's why some jurisdictions will ban alcohol sales prior to a hurricane. But by that time, people already have alcohol. Do not drink alcohol during a hurricane. Do not have a hurricane party with alcohol. I'm urging you guys, do not do it. People die from doing this. They get drunk, they go outside no matter what's going on, and they end up getting hit with a power pole going down, a light pole going down, a tree getting struck by lightning and hitting them, or get struck by lightning themselves, or getting blown over by the 185-mile-an-hour winds. Don't do it. Don't do it. Now, I want to talk for a few minutes about what you want to do. What do you want to do? You do want to stock up on water, lots of water, lots of water. It is recommended that you have at least 5 gallons of water per person. At least 5 gallons of water per person. You may also want to buy iodine tablets to clean drinking water. You may also want to have iodine tablets to clean drinking water. Do make sure you eat more than just chips and salsa. You want to make sure you eat more than just chips and salsa, or bread for that matter. You're going to want to have lots of non-perishable food with nutritional value, especially canned foods. You want to have a minimum of 3 to 5 days supply of food on and in your house. You want to have a minimum of 3 to 5 days worth of food in your house. Nutritional food. Nutritional food. Not chips, not salsa, not nothing like that. Yes, there's nothing wrong with chips and salsa, but make sure you have more than that in your home. Okay? Make sure of that. Power may be off for days or even weeks. Power could be off for days or even weeks. Make sure you get a power generator. Make sure you can have solar power. It doesn't take a lot of money to have solar panels in your house. You can have solar panels that will recharge your phones. And get small handheld solar panels to recharge your phones in your house. You can also have solar panels here to keep up your computers and other small devices. Or you can get a solar generator. With a large solar panel you can put outside your home after the hurricane blows through. Not during it, but after the hurricane blows through. That will provide enough electricity to your solar generator where it could power your refrigerator, could power your freezer, and could power the lights in your home. Okay, you can do that. This is one of the handheld solar panels that I have here. This I got from 4 Patriots. This I got from 4 Patriots. Okay, this will power 2 phones 3 times. This will power 2 phones 3 times. I got this several years ago. I got this as a gift from someone that's been watching our program several years ago. They sent me this. I keep this charged. I keep this charged. Yes, it has a solar panel right here. Over here, it has connections here. The center connection here is the power to power this phone if you want to plug it in to a USB port. On either side, you can charge your phones with it. 3 charges here. 3 charges on 1 charge of the solar panel here. It doesn't take much to charge it either. Keep it up in the sunlight and it'll charge. Okay? Again, you can get larger solar panels with a solar generator that can keep your house online. Okay? Do. Talk about another do here. Do prepare your house properly. Prepare your house properly. Clear your yard of furniture or anything else that can blow away. Clean your property of furniture, anything else that can blow away, because those things that could blow away become missiles. Those things that could blow away in the wind become missiles. For your house or somebody else's. They could also kill somebody. Cover your windows and doors with storm shutters or plywood. Stay away from windows and doors during the storm. Stay away from windows and doors during the storm if you can. Make sure your carbon dioxide detector has battery enough to prevent any CO2 poisoning. Make sure your carbon dioxide detector has enough battery life to prevent CO2 poisoning of anyone in your home. With that said, you're going to want to have flashlights as well. You're going to want to be able to make sure your flashlights have battery power. You're going to want to make sure your CO2 and your other fire smoke detectors have batteries. Carol and I keep a supply of batteries here. Carol and I have plenty of batteries here. Don Patoka says Ron Rico 151 has a question. Great. Great. Let's find out about that question. Demon Catman says, don't fly a kite in a hurricane. I agree. Ron Rico has a question. Okay, I'm going to watch the chat for a few minutes and talk, but if someone has a question, be sure to ask it here and I will give you an answer. If I can't find the answer, well, I'm not going to say that. If I don't have the answer right now, I will find the answer for you. Promise you. Promise you. Now, if you are trying to think that there's pizza delivery in the middle of the night or during a hurricane, you're wrong. Any food deliveries of any restaurant will not be delivered until after the hurricane blows out. So don't even think about ordering food because it will not be delivered. They stopped doing that. They stopped doing that. Sergeant Johnson says, fill your tub with water. I agree with that. Fill your tub with water. Remember this. Your water heater is probably going to have at least 25 to 50 gallons of water in your water heater. That's free water. That's clean water. That's clean water. If your local power goes out and the water companies cannot pump water to your house, turn off the water spigot at the top of your water heater. Also, turn off the fire underneath the water heater. Yes, that will not heat your water if you don't have the fire underneath it. But you're going to want to use that water to drink and to wash with. There are other ways of heating your water if you need to. But that water heater is going to have potable water to drink or to cook with, just so you know. Okay? Second, there are longer lists than I'm going to give you here. I will publish a list here on YouTube. I will publish a list on my Facebook page and on our email. And if someone sends me an email and wants a longer list of things to do or things to have as preparations for a hurricane, let me know and I'll send you a list. Okay? I've given advice for any kind of emergency. In the past, I've given a lot of not devices, but I've given a lot of advice to everybody for any kind of emergency. Those emergencies are all generic emergencies. Those are all generic emergencies. Be advised of it. Those are general things you need to do and be prepared for any kind of emergency that happens. Something else you need to know about hurricanes. They're deadly. They're deadly. No matter what the size of a hurricane, it can be deadly. You need to be responsible and you need to prepare for the worst. You need to be responsible and you need to prepare for the worst. Make sure you have emergency and evacuation plans in place before the storm hits. We talked about emergency plans before. I'm going to continue to talk about it until I'm blue in the face. You need to have an emergency plan. You need to have an emergency plan. How many times have I said that? This is absolutely important. One of the most important things you can do, you need to have an emergency plan. You need to be responsible and prepare your home and everyone who lives in your home with you, or the people you even work for or with. Make sure you have emergency and evacuation plans in place before the storm. Communicate these plans to everyone in your home or your business. Communicate these plans to everyone at your home or business. Find out where the nearest storm shelter is. Find out where the nearest storm shelter is. Keep track of the storm. Keep track of the storm. How many times this last week have I told you about having an AM FM weather radio? An AM FM weather radio. You can track the storm on your radio, either on the AM or FM frequencies through news talk stations or on the weather system itself. The National Weather Service has a frequency, and you can tune your radio to that frequency, and you will be able to get new information about the storm. The National Weather Service does that. They do that all the time. That's what they do. If it's bad enough, the local authorities in your area will give you up-to-the-minute information that you're going to need for any kind of emergency on that same frequency. Okay, you can also track storms on your television as long as you have power. Find out where the nearest storm shelter is and keep track of the storm. Have flashlights and extra batteries. Have flashlights and extra batteries. Build your own first aid kit. Have or build your own first aid kit. Okay? You need to know this. Hector is asking about Missouri. Missouri gets storms directly from Louisiana and Arkansas. Yes, Louisiana and Arkansas get hit with hurricanes. That wind system, that storm system goes directly into Missouri. Yeah. Hector, you're going to get hit with storms this year. I promise you, you will get hit with storms. That's going to happen. I'm going to tell you, it can happen, it will happen. It's happened every year that I've even known about these storms. And I've been following them for a lot of years. Yes, we have even had storms on the west coast of North America. We have had hurricanes and what do they call them? Tropical storms. We have had hurricanes and tropical storms in San Diego. I was a cop in San Diego, guys. I was a federal police officer. I've been out in these storms trying to help people. Had my yellow rain slicker on, and I was at one point in time tied by a heavy-duty rope to my police car, to the push bumper on my police car. My partner stayed in the car. The rope was tied to the push bumper of the police car and my belt. I was leaning out over the quay wall over the harbor, helping people pull people out of the harbor from their boats were being smashed into the quay wall and smashed into the piers. People are stupid. People are darn stupid. They go out in the storm when there's a small craft advisory. They go out in the storm on a boat during a small craft advisory when they're being specifically told to stay off the water. And yet I was out there trying to pull people out of the harbor, trying to save their lives. Trying to save their lives. Guys, don't be stupid. These storms can hit, and they can hit anywhere. They can hit anywhere out in the Hawaiian Islands, or out on the West Coast, the Gulf of America, or out on the Atlantic Ocean. Please, guys, please be safe. Do what you can to be safe. This is not the last time I'm going to be talking about this. This is the first time this season. This is the first time this season, guys. I'm going to be talking about hurricanes a lot. I'm going to be talking about tornadoes a lot. I'm going to be talking about heavy rain and flooding a lot. We just talked about tornadoes this week. We're going to be talking about this a lot. I want you to tell all your friends, your relatives, your family, extended family, the people you work with, and the people you associate with on social media about this channel. Please also subscribe to this channel for weather or disaster information. We're going to have it. We always do. We always do. We've been on the air 6 years. We've been on the air 6 years. I was a police officer. Before that, I was a volunteer firefighter. And after I was a police officer, I was also an emergency manager, and that's what I do best do. I've done disaster drills around this country. I've done disaster drills around this country. I've been in 39 states. I've given preparedness talks around this country all over, from the east to west coast to Alabama to Missouri to Arkansas, up into Oklahoma, up into North Dakota and Minnesota, Colorado, Washington, Oregon, California. I've been everywhere. Guys, please, please pay attention to this channel. If you're not subscribed already, subscribe to this channel. When you subscribe to this channel, there's also something else you need to do. There's a little bell icon right next to the subscription button. Click on that bell icon. There'll be a drop-down menu of 3 items come up. Click on the word ALL, all. That way, clicking on all will get you subscribed and also get you notified about when we come on the air. Click on the subscription button and then click on that little bell icon and then click on the word ALL. That will get you notified when we come on the air. Come on the air during the weekday, Monday through Friday, sometime after 6 p.m., usually between 6 and 7. Yes, there are times we've been on later than that, but that's what we do. We want to make sure we have the latest information for you. That's what we do. Please, folks, join this channel as well. At the top of the program description, just below this video today, at the top of the program description, you're going to find a place there where you can join as a member of this program. You can join there. We have 3 different types of membership programs. Click on one of them and become a member of this program. We do have membership meetings. We're going to have membership meetings at least once every week. Once a week, every week. Okay, I promise you that. During a severe storm or any other kind of emergency warning like that, we will be coming on the air to give you the information. We will not be following storm to storm to storm. In the program description just below all the other alerts for other agencies to give us information, you're going to find a link for another person. Ryan Hall, y'all, here on YouTube. Ryan Hall, y'all, on YouTube gives us up-to-the-minute information about all kinds of weather. He covers tornadoes. He covers hurricanes. He covers all kinds of weather systems. I highly recommend you watch his program on YouTube. Watch him. They'll give you the latest information about any kind of storm you're going to get. Yes, there are other people here on YouTube, but I know for a fact that Ryan Hall, y'all, has other people out on the road that are storm chasing as well for him. You will get that information, I promise. You will get that information, I promise you that. Now, before I leave this air tonight, I want to give you some other information here. Now, there's something else you need to do, okay? We talked about this a lot. We talked about this a lot in the past. There's someone else you need to watch, okay? Something else you need to watch. There is a company. If you are 65 years or older, there is a company that will give you information about Medicare. It's free. It's absolutely free. It's called Charter. Charter. You can go to their webpage. Go to the webpage. You can look it up in the phone book. You can look it up online. It's called Charter. They will give you all the information about Medicare that you're ever going to need. They will give you the latest information that you're going to need so you can know what good health insurance that you can get on Medicare. Do not trust. I'm going to say this again. Do not trust the insurance companies by themselves. Do not trust Obamacare to give you the right information. They won't. Obamacare won't give you the latest information, nor will they give you correct information in time about almost anything. They're not going to do it. They are not going to do it. Go over to charter.org. Email them, charter.org, www.charter.org. They will get back with you and give you the latest information that you're going to need, specifically for you. Specifically for you. They're not getting paid by the insurance companies. They're not getting paid by the insurance companies to sell you an individual policy, no matter how costly it's going to be. Don't ever depend on the government. The government will steal from you. The government will steal from you. They will do whatever it takes to steal from you. But these people on Charter will help you. These people on Charter will help you. You can call 909-563-8279 to speak with one of the trusted Medicare partners at Chapter Medicare. Chapter Medicare. You can go to www.askchapter.org. www.askchapter.org. Okay, or you can call 909-563-8279. I spoke to one of the representatives 2 days ago. I knew I had a good policy, and they also said that I did. However, come October 15th, insurance companies will issue new policies. Do not just listen to anybody that calls you. Don't listen to anybody that just calls you because they can. These insurance companies are going to lie to you. Today, call 909-563-8279 to speak with one of the trusted Medicare partners at Chapter Medicare. They're going to help you. Again, you can also reach them at www.askchapter.org. Ask, A-S-K, chapter, CHAPTER.org. I promise you they'll give you the good information that you're going to need. I know for a fact they will. They helped me even though they didn't give me a policy. I already had a good policy, and they told me that. I knew that before I even called them. Go to www.chapter.org. They will help you. They will help you now and forever. Okay, do I have any questions about hurricanes or anything else we talked about tonight? I've talked a lot. Now, this is Friday. Just like every other night, if there's anything else that happens tonight or in the morning, we'll be back on the air to tell you about it as soon as the information becomes available. If any other emergency happens, we'll be here on the air to tell you about it. We usually take Saturdays off, but just like last Saturday when a great big huge earthquake hit, we're back on the air again. That's what we do. However, if there's nothing going on, we're going to stay off the air. On Sunday, we come on the air between 12 and 12:30 with a updated Sunday school class. Every Sunday, we talk about Jesus Christ. Every Sunday, we give you a good Sunday school lesson. I ask everybody here to please join us here for Come Follow Me, the Savior said, sometime after 12 o'clock Eastern Time, between 12 and 12:30. I look forward to seeing you all then. Ask you guys to follow God. Read the scriptures. Pray. Ask specifically. Have God give you testimony what the scriptures are telling you. Ask the Lord for help. He will bless you. Ask the Lord to lead you to truth. He will bless you. I promise that. I promise you that. If you are sincere and pray with real intent and have faith, the Lord will give that to you. The Lord will help you. Now, folks, if you have any other issues, send me an email. Let's talk. I look forward to that. I ask God to bless you. God be with you until we meet again. God bless all those that need it. We've had some friends of ours that lost family members this week. God bless them. God bless them. We've had numerous police officers that died. We have had canine officers that have died. God rest their souls. God rest their souls. We'll see them when we get to heaven. I know that for a fact. God be with you until we meet again. We'll see you on the other side. Good night, everybody. Much love. See you soon. Thank you all for being here. Mods, thank you so much. God bless you. Take care, everyone. Bye-bye.